Beautiful black people, beautiful, intelligent black people. Do you remember the correlation between history and liberty? There is a definite correlation between history and liberty. And I will try to reveal it this way. If you have delved into Shakespeare just a little bit, as I have, if you remember the drama, the Shakespearean drama called Hamlet, Hamlet, the hero in that play, in that drama, is a virtuous man. The hero in that drama was a virtuous man. The Republican Party housed no virtuous men. The Republican Party housed no virtuous men. And in that Hamlet drama, that virtuous man who is rightly shocked by the abrupt rise of an evil ruler, a la Trump. Trump is the evil ruler. And I would call President Obama the virtuous man. Trump is the evil ruler. The virtuous man was haunted by visions, overcome by nightmares, lonely and estranged in the Hamlet drama. He feels that he must reconstruct his sense of time. His time is out of joint. I have felt that way in the past 4 years, that our time is out of joint. And it's because of the evil ruler called Trump. Maybe I was not born at the right time. But today, in July, late July of 2020, our time is definitely out of joint. We, the American people, have forgotten history for one reason. And if we are not careful, we will neglect it for another. Please do not neglect the true history for another. We will have to repair our own sense of time if we wish to renew our commitment to liberty. There is a correlation between history and liberty. Until recently, most Americans had convinced themselves that there was nothing in the future but more of the same. The seemingly distant traumas of fascism, Nazism, and communism seem to be receding in its irrelevance. We have allowed ourselves to accept the politics of Trump. We have allowed ourselves to accept the politics of Trump. The sense that history could move in only one direction. We have allowed ourselves to accept the politics of Trump. And Trump's politics are moving us in only one direction, toward totalitarianism, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. After communism in Eastern Europe came to an end in 1989, between 1989 and 1992, we Americans, we created the myth of an end of history. In doing so, we lowered our defenses, constrained our imaginations, and opened the way for precisely the kind of regimes we told ourselves that would never happen right here on this plantation called America. We opened the doors to the politics, the regime of Trump and Trump-like thinkers. There are 80 million of them right here on this plantation called America. They are Trump followers, and they are white. They are white. They are white. They are white. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. To be sure, the politics of Trump seemed at first glance to be a kind of history. The politics of Trump type politicians do not deny that there is a past, there is a present, and there is a future. The politicians that are like Trump, they will even allow for the colorful variety of the distant past. Yet, these Trump-Stiltskins, will portray the present simply as a step toward a Trumpian future that we already know. that will take us back 150 to 200 years, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Don't believe the religion and the politics of prosperity that Trump and his followers are preaching. It is a narration of time that leads toward a certain, or usually it leads toward a desirable goal. Communism also offered an inspiration, offered desires toward a very positive goal. Communism offered its followers the idea of a socialist utopia. And then when the story of communism was shattered a quarter of a century ago, we drew the wrong conclusion. Rather than rejecting that communism had failed, we imagine that a Trumpian-like politics, a Trumpian-like regime would be true. The politics of Trump is a self-induced intellectual coma. The politics of Trump is a self-induced intellectual coma. Never forget that. As long as there was a contest between the communists and the capitalist systems, and so long as the memory of fascism and Nazism was alive, American people had to pay some attention to history and preserve the concept that allowed them to imagine an alternative future. Yet, once we accepted the politics of Trump, we assumed that history was no longer relevant. We assumed that history was no longer relevant. Trump and his followers, 80 million of them, are on a mission to take us to a place that every evil ruler like Trump has already envisioned. If everything in the path is governed by a known tendency, then there's no need to learn the details. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The acceptance of the politics of Trump has replaced our vision of a full-fledged democracy where every man, woman, child are created equal, and every man, woman, and child have equal opportunities, human rights, civil rights, and are free to pursue success and happiness. The politics of Trump, the regime of Trump, has superseded our aspirations to live in a free democracy, in a diverse, racially diverse, full-fledged democracy. The politics of Trump have usurped all of that, and we are now on a path toward destruction, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. That's all I have on this one.